My daughter just moved back in after an abusive relationship and is getting uncomfortably close. So I, 50M, will try and keep this brief. My daughter, 25F, met a man I did not really care for 3 years ago, right about when COVID was starting. He wanted her to move in with him quickly, and I could tell he was love bombing her. I was worried about how fast things were moving between them. She called me up after she moved in, saying that she had to respect her relationship and that she needed to cut out anyone who was not supportive. I told her I did not like where this was headed, the love bombing, moving in so quickly, now being isolated from her family. I told her these were warning signs, but she told me she was in love, etc. I told her if this was her choice, then so be it, but I would always love her, my door would always be open, and if she ever needed anything or needed help, I would be there for her. I did not hear from her again for a couple of years. Well, I got a call from her a few weeks ago. She was crying. She said I was right about him all along, things had gotten progressively worse, and now he had hit her for the first time, and that was her boundary. She asked me if my offer to help her was still on the table. I told her of course it was. I love her and would do anything for her. So as soon as we got the chance, I went over there to help her pack up while he was gone and moved her back into my house. You guys, I wanted to cry when I first heard her on the phone. She sounded so desperate. It was even worse when I saw her. She was emaciated, she had bruises, she was a shell of her former self. It breaks my heart to see how badly beaten down she has been. So here is where things start to get, well, awkward. About a week ago, she came into my bedroom at night in her pajamas and said she had been having trouble sleeping. She wanted to sleep in my bed. With me. Which I thought was odd. I said it was a bit odd, but she begged me and said it would make her feel safe. She used to sleep in our bed when her mother was still alive, and she was a little girl and had bad dreams, but that ended a long time ago. I figured whatever she had been through was enough, though, and I was not about to interrogate her or make her feel ashamed. I wanted her to feel safe, and so I agreed. She cuddled up with me, and we slept. This has now become a habit with her. She has not slept in her own bed since and is asking me to cuddle with her or spoon her while she is sleeping in my bed with me. I really do not know what to make of this. She says it makes her feel safe. I am not sure this is appropriate, though, but at the same time, she has been through enough already, and I want her to feel safe and secure. Is this something you think she will move past once she recovers a bit? Should I tell her I think it is inappropriate? Edit, we have a therapist appointment booked. I figured she was going to need one, but the therapist we found did not have an immediate opening. I have heard from so many women who have been through similar ordeals but did not have supportive parents to help them. I just want to say to you all, I am sorry that happened. None of it was your fault. You did not deserve it. What you did deserve was to have a dad in your corner, willing to tap into the match for you. It breaks my heart that so many of you did not have that. I asked her about filing a police report when I first picked her up. She did not think she could handle talking to the police. I took her to a walk-in clinic since she had bruises on her face and was thin. I wanted to make sure she had no head trauma and to see if she would need to be admitted to the hospital to get her back up to weight. She was not underweight enough to require hospitalization. She did not want to be checked into a hospital. She just wanted to go home. The doctor gave me some advice on safely getting her weight back up, and we did take pictures of the bruising on her face and neck and get a medical report that documents it. Commenter. It sounds like she is very broken and reverting to childhood comfort. She needs a therapist to help her. She was severely abused for 3 years, and it's not going to be undone in 2 weeks or even 2 months. She needs professional help. If the cuddling makes you uncomfortable, for sure talk to her, gently. She is just seeking comfort and is still scared he's going to come for her. She knows daddy will protect her. I will protect her. I told her from the get-go she could always come to me. I'll always be on her side. We do have a therapist booked, but they didn't have an immediate opening. Commenter. I'm glad she left the situation and is safe. Her coping mechanisms are what they are. They only make sense to her, but yes, it is crossing a line a bit. If you can, pick up a pregnancy body pillow shaped like a U and a weighted blanket. This can help with anxiety by feeling snuggled and protected without an actual person present. A weighted blanket and body pillow is a good idea. Commenter. You are allowed to have boundaries. Your comfort matters too. Buy her a body pillow and some weighted blankets. She needs to be sleeping in her own room going forward. Honestly, right now my needs are secondary to hers. At least until she's in a better place. Commenter. God bless you. You are a wonderful father, and I wish I had a father like you in my life. You are saving your daughter, and your wife, from heaven above, would be proud of you. You are the savior in your daughter's life. Whatever you are doing is helping her feel safe and will help her recover from such a traumatic experience. Thank you. I love my daughter unconditionally. I will always have her back. I will always pull her up when she falls down. I hope my wife is proud. My wife fought so hard to stay alive and stay with us. I know she would have fought just as hard for our daughter now as she did to stay with us. Commenter. I wish everybody could read this post. This is how you parent. However much we wish we could make choices and decisions for our children, And however old they are still our children. We have to step back and let them make their own mistakes. All we can do is be there for them when things go wrong. And you are doing that in spades. I applaud you. I just felt something was really off about him. My daughter just thought I was being the dad who never thinks anyone is ever good enough for his little girl. Next to her mom dying, letting her go was the hardest thing I've ever done. Those 2 years worrying about her were murder. I knew things weren't going great because her best friend kept in touch with me and let me know how things were going before she too was cut off. Update. Okay. So I got some great advice, and I figured I would give everyone an update and clarify a few things because it will come into play. I know I said this in the comments, but I will reiterate here. When I picked her up, I saw that she was underweight and had bruises on her face and neck. Clearly strangulation marks on her neck, and she had been punched in the face. I immediately took her to a walk-in clinic. I wanted her checked for head trauma, I wanted to make sure she was okay, no broken bones or head traumas, etc. I wanted DR's advice on getting her back up to a healthy weight, which foods to eat, which to avoid, refeeding syndrome, etc. The DR told me her BMI was 15. Not good, but not requiring immediate hospitalizations or anything that would be 12 and under. I also wanted all of her injuries documented. I also got pictures. The DR gave me advice on how best to get her up to weight without her feeling sick. I asked my daughter if she wanted to file a police report and press charges. I wanted this, she did not. I did not push it, but I kept the medical records from the doctor's visit. I got her home, and for the first week, I was careful about what I was feeding her and how much, so we could get her healthy again without making her sick. I feel bad about it now because after I put my original post up, my daughter opened up to me about what he did and put her through. One of the things he would do is watch what she was eating and how much. He would constantly warn her about getting fat and not being attractive anymore. I now feel a bit bad because when she got home, I too was monitoring what she was eating at first. I know it's for different reasons, but it still makes me feel bad. Anyways, on to the update part of things. She did finally write down everything that he did to her. I took a copy of this and put it with her medical files in case she ever decided to press charges later. I took her to her therapist's appointment, and he recommended what many of you did to a specialist. He had the name of a domestic abuse specialist who was also a woman. We are keeping him on for me and as counseling for the two of us. I try to be a good father, but there were cracks in our relationship that he was able to exploit to turn her against me. There were things I did wrong after my wife's death, and things we need to address, and also to just get help with helping her recover. She's now seeing a domestic abuse specialist. As for the sleep thing, I had a talk with her and the therapist about it, and we came up with a plan utilizing many of the recommendations mentioned on the last thread, and we are all comfortable with the solution we have come up with. I don't want to get too much into what he did to her. That's her story to tell. But he did utilize sleep deprivation. She told me he would make these jokes about how easy it would be for him to kill her in her sleep. He would joke like this all the time and then laugh about it. She repeatedly asked him to stop, but he didn't. I only mention it because people mentioned he might have done things to make her scared to sleep, and well, that was one of them. I don't want to repeat the others. Those are too personal. I took a leave of absence from work so I could be home with her. I prepared my weapons and got a ring cam to monitor the door. He did not give up on her easily. While she had blocked his number and social media profiles, he would repeatedly create false profiles or use burner phones to continue to harass her. At one point, I did take the phone from her when he had called her and told him not to show up here or I would, well, you know. That was not enough. About 2 weeks after this post went up, he showed up. I saw him on the ring cam I had installed and called the police to have him removed. I told him to leave the door, and if he walked inside, it would be the last thing he ever did. Instead, the police came and removed him. But they did little else but get rid of him. Without a protective order or my daughter filing domestic abuse charges, the most they could really do was tell him to get off my lawn basically. This was the wake-up call my daughter needed though. She decided to press charges after he showed up. I retained a lawyer to help us through this. I gave the lawyer the advice I had accumulated, and he spoke to the DA and police and helped have the charges filed, and the restraining order issued. Honestly, I'm not sure what went on there, but people, let me tell you, lawyers are your friend if you need to navigate anything in the legal system, even if you are not a defendant. So that brings us to now. We're moving forward in the legal system now to press charges. We have a protective order, she's recovered more or less physically, but emotionally, it's going to be a while. I'm in therapy, she's in therapy, and we're in therapy together. Yes, lots of therapy. She is sleeping in her own bed when she feels up to it, but she still has nightmares and nights where she feels comforted to be close to me. We are comfortable with the arrangements we've made here and have drawn up a plan with her therapist to get her back into her own room and bed. I feel bad about the feeding, no. I had monitored her food intake before I knew he had been watching how she ate like that. I also feel like I failed to prepare her for someone like that. To everyone who responded to my first thread, thank you. To most of you,